Hello and welcome to another edition of ProtoMet Friends. I'm ProtoMet.
I'm Brian. I suppose you know me as Tank.
I'm Jesse.
And today we will be briefly discussing Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire.
So what was the new empire? Did it strike back?
Roman and yes.
I wasn't thinking of Rome.
It wasn't successful for them, but they at least tried.
Oh. So the movie starts off with Kong.
Just going out for a hunt as an old man.
Yeah, he's definitely aged since.
Very much.
You can see his beard has gray in it now.
Well,
It
his
feels-
whole
he-
body's gray.
He seems like he's old and exhausted. It's like, I'm tired of having to put up with this BS.
I just want to mate.
But also food.
Yep.
That's most of what's on my mind right now.
Yep.
So,
They do make a couple jokes of like, he's probably a horny gorilla. Not in them words, but he would probably like a girlfriend.
yeah, but no, movie starts with him basically being chased by a bunch of wolf monsters or something.
Yep.
Which he then...
Those were the original killer shrews. They were not dogs.
Fair point.
They look like wolves. A mutated wolf.
Yeah, so did the killer shrews.
Yeah.
Just a lot cheaper. But the scene does establish that Kong is smart enough to lay traps for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very smart.
And he scares a few of them fall into the trap. That's how they get defeated. And there's like he grabs one that is, I believe, is dead.
And just tears it in half.
Tears it of his pat and just gets covered in
Gore and viscera. It's like,
and it was green, so it got the PG-13
yeah,
rating.
yeah. Can't have red, otherwise that's going to be a straight R.
And then he realized what he did to himself, and he felt disgusted. And then we see him under a waterfall cleaning himself.
I was like, I'm so tired of all this BS.
Yeah. He's like that scene, like after he tears it apart, and after he realized he's just covered in bile and icky, just like.
I think it's the fact that he's the only creature down in Hollow Earth that he knows, and he misses Gia.
Yeah.
Who is in this movie? She is. Does a great job.
She is about a teenager now,
Roughly.
Mm-hmm.
And she's having a hard time transitioning to the Monarch school that she's been enrolled in.
Mm-hmm.
Because, she's deaf, so it's not like she can hear very much, but also she just can't quite connect with any of the others because she's worried about Kong.
Yeah.
Right.
They're trying to tell her to go to like a certain page, and you even see the teacher signing,
Yep.
so she knows. And then all of a sudden, she has a weird like flashback of some sort, and then all of a sudden, she just starts
It's
drawing.
almost like she falls asleep in class and then wakes up having drawn all over her notebooks and desk.
Yeah, and then her I guess supposed adopted mother comes to the school, and finds her like literally cleaning up
the desk, yeah.
But rather than just simply dismissing it as just a phase, she actually goes and looks into it because Gia's like, I don't know what's going on. I
Yeah.
feel weird.
Felt out of place.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because she's the last of the Iwi, it turns out.
Yeah.
I don't think the previous movie really established
No,
that.
no, because apparently, didn't Skull Island drown after Ghidorah's storm?
It fell into the ocean or something.
Yeah.
That happened before the last movie, which we mentioned when we talked about the previous movie last time.
Well, we made the joke like, Willie hears you, Willie don't care. But Kong hears you, Kong don't care.
Yeah, this this time around, I did not read any of the supplemental material going into it so even I had to just
Go in blind.
go in as blind as possible.
Oh, there are so many YouTube videos I have to watch.
Just to watch after having watched this movie.
Yeah,
Right.
because I don't like being spoiled
Right.
or
Yeah.
anything So it was hard to go on like Twitter, Facebook, and not get spoiled from anything. Just see something, a video start to play, just quickly swipe up.
I mean, as far as spoilers, I think the most I got was just the toy stuff.
Yeah, like
These are the characters that are getting toys. It's like, okay, so I'll look forward to those.
a new version of Kong, a new version of Godzilla.
Yep.
Some other stuff.
Yep. Little Jeeps.
Speaking of Godzilla, his plot line is that he first attacks, what was it, Italy?
Yeah, and apparently he's taking on, it looked like a mother long legs, but it was a crab monster.
I'm pretty sure that was Skyla. It was one of the monsters that showed up in King of the Monsters towards the end.
To bow.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then when he gets done, he curls up in the Coliseum and has a cat nap.
Yep, he literally just like...
That is also something I saw on social media. It's like, he's got a little cat bed.
Yeah, just
Curls up like a cat in the
just like
Coliseum.
boom, boom, boom. He's like, what do we do? We do nothing. We do absolutely nothing. Let it sleep.
Piss it off.
So anyway, Gia's mom goes to Barry, the conspiracy theorist podcaster from the previous movie, to ask him for his opinions on what Gia's pictures are and how they relate to the signals that Monarch has picked up that have knocked out some of the electrical systems at the outpost in Hollow Earth.
Well, it destroyed the whole building.
That they only find that out later, though.
Yeah.
Like, they go into it just to investigate the electronic disturbance. They
Right.
don't... So...
I do wish, Millie Bobby Brown's character would have been in this movie with that guy. It would have been funny.
But no, just that guy's here.
Hey, it works.
It works for the movie.
Well, somebody needed to support Kong. Godzilla. Because in the previous film, she was all for Godzilla. And mostly like Kong, too, I suppose.
Yeah.
Right.
But anyway, Kong comes up through one of the Hollow Earth portals because he's got a rotten tooth.
Yeah, he's like, a severe toothache. And I'm guessing, is this the weird guy who got called a coward in sign language?
Trapper?
Yeah.
No, he's a great character in this movie. Good, he does get, at one point, compared to Ace Ventura, and that's not too off of a comparison.
Well,
No.
the thing is, it was the shirt. the crazy Hawaiian shirt.
And his love of animals.
Yeah.
He's very in tune with nature.
Yeah, so they drug up Kong so he can remove this tooth, and it's a massive tooth.
But they did manage to come up with a replacement and get that implanted.
Yeah, and apparently it's made of some type of metal, and it's adamantium.
Not supposed to
For
break.
lack of a better term.
Can handle getting punched in the mouth from another kind.
Now, it's initially believed that this rouses Godzilla, but Godzilla doesn't immediately head towards Kong. He's got his own agenda going on, and Kong manages to get back down into Hollow Earth.
At this time, the team goes down into Hollow Earth.
With him, because it's established in the previous movie and the Monarch series that you need to go with a kaiju if you're going to try to get to the Hollow Earth. If you don't go with a kaiju, you're going to find yourself in the space between, and things get weird there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've seen those episodes. It's just like, what the fuck? Monarch is really good. I recommend
Oh, hell,
it.
yeah. Strongly recommend that one. That was a great lead into this movie, even if it doesn't, connect narratively speaking.
So then Godzilla at this time is swimming and ends up fighting a sea monster.
Tiamat, they call it.
Tiamat.
a sea monster that's living in an iceberg that's like a locus of energy from the sun, the sun and stuff. Like it's got a different energy signature compared to the rest of the world, and this is after he attacks a power plant in was it France?
Yes. But the funny thing is, I don't believe he's attacking it. He's absorbing. Like his.
Well, he attacks it in order to absorb the nuclear energy.
But you know, like he uses the atomic breath to break it open. But it looks like the radiation is just going into his mouth.
Oh yeah, he's definitely consuming the radiation. They even state outright that he's absorbing all the ambient radiation, effectively making it radioactively clean for the people around it, so they're not affected by basically the meltdown that he caused.
So he helped and ended up attacking some fighter jets that were trying to.
I'm pretty sure they were drones that were attacking him, so he didn't actively attack anybody.
It was just annoyed by it.
Like, yeah,
kept getting shot at.
You know that doesn't hurt, but you're just being a pest now. It's like that moth earlier.
So yeah, the small monarch team that includes Trapper, Gia's mom, Barry, and this military guy.
He seems he's funny at first, but he just gets stressed out.
And then eaten.
By the tree.
And Trapper tried to warn him about it, too. Not specifically about the tree, but like, we shouldn't be here. We should take a detour.
He's like,
Up.
I'm relying on my technology, and I'm not going to listen to you. Gulp.
Yeah, that was it. It spit out his gun.
Meanwhile, Kong investigates a sinkhole in his hunting ground, which leads him to encounter a bunch of other apes.
I would. Weird to call this more savagey apes.
Oh, definitely more aggressive savage apes, including a small young Kong.
I'm just gonna call it Coco.
Fair enough. I know that there is a proper name for this little Kong, but I can't remember it offhand. So go with Coco.
So Kong easily just beats these
savage apes.
He tries to save one that he pushes off a cliff.
Pulls it back onto the cliff, and then that one grabs a knife and tries to stab him.
Then Kong kicks him off the cliff. The hell with you then. And then I want to say a more elderly Kong tried to fight him, but failed miserably, but he was able to escape.
Yep.
Yeah, but now with Coco in tow, Kong's like, hey, show me where you came from.
He's like, no, over there. They go.
Show me.
Show me. He tried. The funniest part is he's trying to. He just witnesses a infant Kong ape. So he's like, come here.
I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going
to. All of a sudden, it just starts biting his finger.
Then at one point with the fight with the savage apes, he ends up using the kid as a weapon by flinging him around like a mace or something. It's like, oh, okay. Kid must be pretty tough to survive that.
He got up.
It's like, oh.
Coco, you can definitely tell after Kong beats the older ones, Coco is scared of Kong.
Yep.
Yeah,
but he's also at the same time trying to trick Kong
by leading him into a water that has a sea monster in it.
Yeah.
I just hops in.
It was
it's just
trap.
Safe water.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could just tell that he's up to something.
He's looking over Kong's shoulder. It's like, okay, when do we start fleeing?
Yeah.
Kong notices and is like, what the? Turns around.
See the wave coming towards him. He just runs.
So Coco tries to take a land route, only to be blocked by the debris of the giant sea serpent that Kong defeated.
At first, it's the axe.
It's the axe first, yes.
And then, all of a sudden, the head of the serpent. And then Kong comes up and just grab... Oh, first, he's Coco thinks he's going to Die. Then Kong just rips open part of the thing and just starts eating. Then
A little later, they're sitting down. He tosses him some meat. He's like, "Go on, have some."
he's just like, first it's if he tries to hand it and just like Kong's just like just chucks it. Then Coco just starts eating it that way, and then he just kind of looks at Kong and he realizes that Kong is actually sitting on a big rock. So he finds a smaller rock and sits on it. The same, just starts eating his meat.
Meanwhile, with the humans, they find outpost 1. I have a tongue that is tied up right now.
A twister.
The humans down in Hollow Earth managed to make it to Outpost 1, which is absolutely wrecked. No survivors. And they see like a big handprint that they realize isn't Kong's, despite how similar it looks.
Its fingers are longer.
Yeah.
And it's never explicitly stated what caused this, so it's left a bit open to interpretation as to whether or not it's that guy that we'll be talking about soon.
Yep.
So they continue now back to Kong and Coco. They get to a fiery...
Just like a lava field.
Yeah. And I want to know what the hell type of kaiju was killed where that skeleton bridge.
Yeah.
Probably Godzilla.
I was going to say, it was probably another...
Yeah, just like all of a sudden, Kong just steps and it kind of shakes.
Because it looks like the bulk of the Kongs are slaves to these more orangutan-like Kongs.
Right.
Yeah.
Who are being ruled over by a big orangutan dude that's called Scar King.
Big, lanky thing.
Oh, yeah.
And here's a fact that they don't mention in the movie, but Scar King's whip is a Godzilla spine.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Makes sense now.
Right.
And a random crystal that can control another kaiju.
Yeah, I think that was one he tore off of the other kaiju. I don't know the actual explanation for that, but that's just my assumption.
So, Kong finally shows up, and another Kong pushes over another Kong. Okay, I'm getting people confused. Okay, a big ape pushes over another big ape that is not Kong, and then Kong comes up, picks up the one that dropped a boulder for some reason. Apparently, the guy got upset about it, and then the one who was yelling at or starting to beat up the ape comes to Kong, and Kong just punches him in the face and knocks him out.
It's a cool scene. And the fact that because they're, giant monsters with no concept of language, the whole thing plays out without any need for you to hear what's actually going on. You can see it all happening.
Well, I think at that point it was trying to become who would be the alpha.
Right, basically.
But out of their entire group, it is Scar King.
Yep.
Is the alpha.
For sure.
And he fights Kong one-on-one, and it
doesn't go very well for Kong.
No.
Well, Kong holds his own to a point.
And that's after Scar King just pushes the old Kong into the lava.
Yeah, and Coco's upset.
As you do.
So the legendary Titan, Shimo comes out, and
that's after they block off the lava flow and open up a cavern that Shimo's been trapped in.
And then Kong gets his arm frozen.
Yeah. Meanwhile, with the humans, they find a temple that has the 3 triangle symbols that Gia had written. She presses the central triangle, which triggers this whole ancient device thing, which leads them to this wall.
Camouflage wall.
Yep.
Which has bizarre properties when interacting with the water and touch.
And she just simply starts to tear it open.
And that's where we're gonna stop it right now, because once we get past this point,
it's spoiler city.
Yeah.
I feel maybe we ventured into some spoilery
Yeah.
territory here or there, but from here on out, it's
Okay,
a
so-
great movie.
I'm just gonna say, if you've seen some of the trailers, yeah, those show up in the trailers. So.
I haven't seen the trailer, so
Neither
I have
have
no
I.
context for what he's saying.
Yeah.
Not by
I
my
didn't
show.
know.
It was one of those situations where I could not skip it.
I did not want to watch the trailer because I wanted to watch the movie.
You're right.
It
And now we've watched a movie, and it was a great movie.
It
was
a
an
great
awesome movie.
So if you have a chance, and if your theater is showing it, go out and see it.
Yeah, we had a bit of a difficult time actually finding a screening for this. Through no fault of the theater, it's just their schedules were kind of wonky, and
We just couldn't find anything.
we would have gotten this out to you last weekend, but
It is what it is.
and we did get to see it, so all's well.
Right?
All right. I highly recommend it.
Definitely.
Yeah, very much.
Yep. So, till next time,
I'm ProtoMet.
I'm Tank.
I'm Jesse.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.